Is my mic on? Alright, sweet. Let us see. Alright, so today we're gonna be talking about this new algo I created, which is the Level Up Trader, or as it's called in the actual strategy, the Eastern Roman Empire strategy. I gotta hide that ATM for obvious reasons, even though it's right there, but still. Okay, I'm just gonna go over the quick setup, the gist of things. So basically, let's start. So first of all, it's not a strategy, it's an indicator because I decided it would be fun to try it out. And because I think it'd be helpful to click this, and I think this framework was originally built for something HFT Algo made, but I just, co-opted it for my strategy because I like the look of it. So, we're going with it. But anyways, so first thing, market open time. I don't care. I don't trade through market open. Start time would be 12 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is just 0. I don't know what it is. So if you're like in Eastern Time, I guess it would be 3 a.m. and end time would be 8 a.m. instead of 5 a.m. But for Pacific Standard Time people, it's just 0 to 5. So yeah. Econ 1, Econ 2, I don't know, don't use it. Didn't really test anything longer than a 5-hour period. You probably could if you wanted to, I just don't. Next up, profit target, stop loss. Those aren't actually like the physical profit target and physical stop loss. Those are like your, daily. So, you could set this to like 2000 or 1500, something like that. Personally, I don't use it because I ain't no bitch. So, yeah. Uh, and then take wait for bars. This is just for reversal, so how many bars after reversal, it would take. It obviously doesn't take all reversals, but um, the reversals are really filtered. So just as how many bars you want after that. I use 5. It's auto set to 2, but you can change that by clicking template, save as default, right? All right, so that's pretty much it for the settings like here. Um, all right, so you click apply, it'll do that. Calculate. Okay, so let's go over these buttons. These buttons, they don't matter. But these ones, I would just keep them on at all times. But you can, if you're advanced, you can use these two in combination with these two to do some fun stuff. But let's talk about the main mode you will be using, which is these 3 buttons turned on, and if you want to flatten, just click that, right? But I digress. Anyways, so the main mode you'll be using, it's basically just this. I'll go over the ATM stuff later, but it should do all the heavy lifting behind the scenes. You don't really have to do too much besides just let it go while you sleep, or if you're like in Europe while you're awake. So that's pretty much it for that mode. But there's another mode I did include because I was building something else when I started this originally, and that is the enter all reversals. Anyways, sorry, I'm drinking something. The enter all reversals button is the button they'll turn as this pink button or medium orchid as NinjaTrader calls it, but basically what it'll do is it'll take every single reversal provided enough bars have formed after it's opened. So uh I just included this in case any of you want to do some news trading or open trading. I know TrueTrade that has a bot that does exactly this, where it won't take any of the fancy stuff if you know, if you click not use non-reversal trades right here. Sorry, I forgot to mention that too. Use non-reversal trades. It won't take any of the fancy stuff like the second trade I use. It'll just take reversals if you have this unchecked. So you can do that if you want to use this mode, right? So what this mode does is it just takes all the reversals given that 5 bars have passed or whatever you set it to. I included this because TrueTrade has something like it, and it's basically a scam. They charge like 15K for it for something that you can program in like 10 minutes, so I just did. HFD did help me put this button on here, but you could do it without the button if you really wanted to. So, uh, basically, I don't actually know when you would use this the guy that was I was originally working on the strategy with didn't respond to me, so I don't actually know when you would use it, but I from my testing you would basically only use this after news or like big events. Like you would basically use it if you were expecting big long moves and sustained moves, which is, kind of what you're doing. So what I would use this for is, maybe after CPI, after the initial chop fest that usually follows the news, like not like follows, but like during the actual release, there's usually kind of like a little chop fest. You could use this mode right after that to take advantage of some of the long sustained upwards or downwards movement that CPI or employment tends to produce. On top of that, if you expect the open to be or the market to be pretty rangy and not necessarily uh, unidirectional, then you could use this mode at open to, take advantage of that. I know some people use this bot, like the True Trade bot. It's called like the Triple Shot Pro. No, it wasn't Triple Shot. It was the Shot Bot Pro. Yeah, that was it. Does the exact same thing as this basically, except I'm not charging you $10,000 for it. So, feel free to experiment with that. I don't know. I haven't done much testing on it. If anyone wants to do some testing and let me know some, when I would actually use this type of setup, then you can let me know. But I don't, I would never, like, you tend to get a lot out of this, which would be a loss, which would be win, win. But, I guess the idea of the True Trade bot is to, you don't need that many winners, or you don't need that many winners, because generally, if you're using True Trade, you would use, like you would basically use no target for your runners, and you basically just trail the stop. So the idea is that you just need one really big runner on the day. I don't know if how I feel about that type of strategy, but it's definitely something you can do if you know how to use it. Like you can just set an ATM to have like one initial target, like I don't know, 20 ticks or something, and then have just like absurd runners, like maybe you set like a target of 200 and then just manually trail that stop up as you go. It's definitely something to consider. I don't know how I feel about that approach because yeah, well, you do sometimes get these big winners. You do also get a lot of this sometimes, or let me see if I can find a market open that'll do me justice here. Like yeah, like this type of crap that you get at the first 30 minutes. Like if you would try to use that True Trade bot, chances are you've lost here, maybe lost here on the wick, lost here, and then took a big winner. But right here, all your losses would have been like 35 points each, which is like, I don't know, or ticks, sorry, would be, I don't know, like 200 ticks before you actually got a winner. And like, yeah, while that is 200 ticks, you might not get that. You might get wicked out or here. Like, there's no guarantee. And if you decided you wanted to trade for 2 hours after the open, you could potentially lose here and win this. But I don't know if it's worth it. You can make that decision yourself. I wouldn't recommend leaving this without human attendance. It's more supposed to be something you can use to I don't know, take advantage of some big movements that you might expect. Obviously, don't use this if you're not already advanced with trading and you don't actually know what's going to happen. Or if you're just a really bad judge of market character, I wouldn't use it. But, it's something to consider. I don't know how I would feel about trusting myself with not closing out a runner early, but I know some people are probably better at that than I am, so feel free. There are videos online of people using the ShotBot Pro. I don't know. They always seem to get lucky, and they never show any losing days. So that could be a sign that either Trade Day or not Trade Day, True Trade has them under an NDA, or they're just sponsored by True Trade and are lying to get that affiliate point. So uh, always take caution. I just want to throw that out there just in case anybody wanted to use it because it was already taking reversal, so I might as well just add them in. Anyways, enough with that disclaimer. Now we get to the ATM. Ignore that. So basically how this ATM works is you need two AT. So this strategy is kind of weird. So the first pattern, like the reversals, are going to take whatever pattern you have on the board here. So if you were to do something like this, and then yeah, something like this ATM that you have actually selected would go over to this ATM, right? Uh, and it would be that's the ATM used for the reversals. Now, the second behind the scenes trade is the ATM called SPQR. It needs to be all uppercase and it needs to be called SPQR specifically, which if any of you guys are history nerds, Senatus Populis Romanum, or Latin speakers, I don't really care. I don't know what that means. Anyways, so basically that's you need two different ATMs, or you could use the same one if you wanted to. I just don't recommend it, but my settings are as follows for SPQR. It's this basically. I'm thinking about just changing it to a 1-to-1, but you could definitely change that out. I just, kept most of the stuff I used for the reversals, but I haven't really tested different ATMs because I got too lazy and I basically programmed the second algo in like 2 days. So, uh, take that as you will. I honestly, something I would consider trying is this reverse at stop because it is a range trader, so it tends to try to take opposing trades. So I mean, if you break the range, then it might be a breakout. You might want to reverse as a stop and change this to like 20 or something and just take a reversal out of it. I don't know. Don't trust me, I guess. Do your own testing. I didn't optimize this at all. I basically just co-opted the reversal, the stuff I knew that works for reversals, and put it on the secondary trade. I don't know. Test it yourself. But yeah, so something I would consider reverse at stop. Always something to consider. I don't know. Never reverse at target. That's dumb. But reversing at stop could potentially lead you to generate some additional alpha in potentially losing trades. It also opens you up to more exposure to the market, so keep that in mind as well. So that's what the ATM I would say for you know your secondary trade. For the reversal trade, what I would do is just do that. Anyways, because this target 3 won't actually fill if you only have 13 orders in target 1 and 2 and your quantity is 13. So it just makes it easier to adjust for testing. I just didn't test it very much, so I don't know. I don't know. But that's basically the gist of it. I have a back test up on YouTube already, so go check that out. But for the most part, that's pretty much it. But yeah, try things out. Probably run some sort of free trial just because this is pretty new. I didn't really do any forward testing, so I need to do some optimization in the meantime. See, like things like this would be good to use this mode for, you get big moves, but how often do you actually get something like this? How do you tell beforehand that it's gonna do that, right? And how do you know it's not gonna do this after doing that, right? So something to consider. Uh, 2.5 algos jammed in one with one that somebody else already created that I just copied because they were dumb and charging 10 grand for it. So, for the most part, that's pretty much it. If you want some help in setting this up, let me know. I'll probably have it on a free trial, but we'll see. I don't know how much it'll cost right now, but it is pretty good, and I do I do kind of want some money for it just because the hedge fund I work for right now, it kind of pays me more than what most people pay me, so I might set the price pretty artificially high and then just kind of have only a few people on it just because I don't actually get paid that much from you guys. I get paid mostly from my hedge fund that I work for. Right now, they pay me a lot more for my algos and my ability to trade them. So, I don't know. For now, pricing is probably going to be pretty high on this if I had to guess, just because I don't know. just it's pretty good. Like it's probably one of the best algos I've ever seen. Like period. Like you get ads for like algos like Holy Grail, not to diss Holy Grail, but just saying they only make like $2,000 a month. So I might set this pretty artificially high. I don't know. I have in sample and out of sample tested this thing. One rule I would say is don't trade through news. So like 430 unemployment tends to fuck this thing up pretty bad. If you really want to trade at 530, you can just don't trade through bit like S&P restructures or CPI, PPI, that's a good thing. But you can trade before. It usually does pretty well. That's just the general. Yeah, I don't know about pricing. I'm sorry if it's gonna be high, but I just, you know, sometimes you gotta prioritize your own interests occasionally. And since uh I have to, I don't necessarily want to. I mean, I obviously I want to if I'm doing it, but I don't necessarily feel like good about doing it. You know what I'm saying? But then again, trading is all heartless anyways. We're all contributing nothing to society to make money right now, right? That's how I feel about it. But if the choice is between making like 30,000 a month versus making 20 or 10,000 a month, obviously I'm gonna take the lower road every time. No, I'm gonna take 30, right? So don't know yet. For now, it will be pretty openly free just because, uh, or like free on a trial, obviously. I have like inbuilt code that prevents you from actually trading past April 15th right now, so we'll see, reevaluate after that date whether I feel like the trial needs to be extended or I can start charging, but I just don't really know my position on pricing. I might like I don't know. It definitely won't be as high as bots like the Bold bot. I know they charge like 2,000 a month for for access to all of them. But since it's individual, I definitely will be lower than that. I'm just saying pricing's probably gonna be higher than anything I've ever made. Like I think the highest I've ever priced something at is like 400, but it probably will be much higher than that. I'm just saying like maybe even 800 to 1,000. I don't know yet. It's not gonna be like true trade pricing where they basically scam you, but I don't know how things are gonna pan out yet. For now though, I think I'm thinking like pretty set on going the artificially high route. It is one of the best things I've ever created. You can't fault me for wanting some money out of it. Artificially high, but low volume generally is, in my opinion, better since I'm dog shit at advertising. So, uh, I don't know. We'll see. But for now, that's all I gotta say. Make sure to um do your research before you buy anything, but I will not be putting the "oh, this is not financial advice" or whatever after everything because I believe in what I sell, and I don't think that saying "ooh, this is not financial advice" is actually productive to really anyone. So, I'm not giving you any financial advice, but I'm not gonna say this isn't financial advice. So yeah, but I would do generally your own research before buying anything. There are a lot of scammers in this industry, so make sure, but this is kind of you know, fuck you Connor from Polarity ATI right now.